I haven't seen you gentlemen in a long time. What happened?
Yeah, it's been just
been
working.
Just working?
It's just we didn't want to see you.
What happened to you? You look different.
I became beautiful.
Became beautiful? Nice. I hope you like being beautiful. Whatever happened to your face and your hair. Keep doing whatever it is.
Thanks, me.
Speaking of what happened, I was driving somewhere yesterday and I realized I do not know the way to that place, despite having driven to that place many times over the last 3-4 years. I still can't remember the way. I do not know the way, Mr. Johan.
You don't know the way.
I don't.
Do you know the way?
No, I do not.
Okay.
So it made me start thinking about how technology has changed the way we live our lives. So back in the day, if you wanted to go somewhere, either you had to memorize how to get to that place, or you had to print a huge map. Yeah, looked like an explorer driving wherever you're going to.
Very inconvenient.
Yeah.
Now we have Google Maps.
Yes, we do. But it has changed how we live our lives.
Yeah.
Our memory has changed. Challenge time. How many phone numbers do you have memorized?
Mine,
Just one.
yeah, 2 I think. My dad's number.
Your dad's number. How many phone numbers do you have memorized?
All my family members and mine. That's it.
I have only one phone number memorized.
Right.
Technically 2. I have my current phone number memorized and the phone number that I first ever had when I got my first ever mobile phone.
That's useless.
I know. But then you can see the change. I can remember a bunch of numbers from back in the day, which people probably don't use anymore. But then the people that I've started associating with, my acquaintances, workmates or whatever from the past maybe 5-6 years, I haven't memorized any of their numbers.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because it's become so convenient just to save these numbers in your phone and not have to remember them. So good, bad, I don't know.
I think it's good because I don't have to remember people's numbers. It's already saved there. So my memory is free to remember other things, valuable things.
What if you're stuck in an emergency?
That's why I know my family members' numbers. I wouldn't call a friend. And you can always remember 999 or 911.
999.
Yeah. You remember?
Oh yeah, you guys were stuck somewhere. Yeah, I have also called 999 because depends on you being British or American. 911, 999.
Yeah.
I was in a car crash some time back, and I called 999.
Yeah.
So convenient. But speaking of how technology has changed the way we live or our lives, I was surprised to learn something weird about how we grow. So apparently human beings grow best when we're exposed to blue light.
Okay.
So light bulbs produce blue light. Light bulbs were invented about 100 years ago.
Right.
If you compare the average height of human beings over the last 100 years with the previous 100 years, on average we are taller.
No.
So, I'm not
No
kidding.
way.
No.
Yeah. Average. I said on average. If you mix all our heights and divide. Yeah, but anyway, on average, since light bulbs were invented, we are growing taller
Okay.
because of some other interesting thing. Fuad doesn't seem to like technology much. I don't know.
What? Really?
What is technology? What works with technology?
So how has it changed your life apart from getting lost in the mountains and calling 999?
It's a lot. I mean, a lot of things. It's not only emergency numbers or anything. It's in basically in our daily lifestyle. Everything. You wake up by alarm. If there is no alarm, you will wake up late, right?
But alarms have been around for quite some time.
Yeah, but that's now it's in my phone. I don't need a physical,
Like a physical
alarm.
clock.
Yeah, now it's in my phone. I have an app which is basically remembers the routine that I do every day. So I don't need to set anything in my phone, which is, as Johan said, very convenient. I drive, just connect the as soon as I get inside my car, my phone connected, music runs, maps is on. Very convenient, so I don't need to spend another 5-10 minutes to connect with
Yeah.
wires to set the maps, set everything. So
Like back in the day, you had to pick the CD with the music that you want.
True.
yeah, the CD, the cables, the aux cable, everything. Now there is even electric cars, smart cars, which actually makes like the full ecosystem works, which I believe is something positive, right?
Yeah, yeah. Technology. If you're speaking about technology, there's two sides. You can always speak about the positive side, which is what we are experiencing, I guess, the convenience factor. It's really cool if you know how to use the technology properly. If you don't know how to use the technology and you're just you're having all these conspiracy thoughts about it, and you are willingly giving the location, you're clicking allow to everything, and then you're like, oh, how do they know my location? Of course they know the location because you gave permission. So yeah, it's
What can be the negative use of technology?
One thing. Historically, anytime human beings have discovered a certain technology, they first try to figure out how they can use it to kill other people, and then later on, how to use it for civilian purposes. Allow me to explain. Aeroplanes. Invented, they became a mainstream thing in World War II, and then after World War II in the 50s, this is when mass air travel became a thing.
right.
Nuclear power. First we figured out how to kill other people using it, and then later on we are like, we could also use it to generate electricity. So that's another thing. Railways, transporting soldiers, gunpowder. Let's figure out how I can use this to throw a projectile and kill that guy that's way over there. So maybe it's just our violent nature. But that aside, things like you are talking about electric cars and all this, like self-driving cars. When someone finally figures out the proper way to make it work fully and everyone trusts it, think of what's going to happen when an AI has to make an ethical choice. There is your self-driving car on the road, and then there are two people
Right.
crossing the road. Who does the car decide to kill?
And this has
What does the car decide to do?
this has been like ongoing
Debate.
Yeah. So they're teaching the AI to choose the likely person. I mean, they're teaching the AI to save both, of course, save both and the driver. But of course, in a situation like that,
Yeah.
AI doesn't matter if it's AI or it's human or whatever it is. It will. Humans are different. Humans will try to always save ourselves, but the AI will quite possibly do the most ethical output.
Not ethical. So, like, if you're getting trained as a lifeguard, they give you this scenario where there are two people who are drowning.
Right.
One is an old person, and the other one is a much younger person.
Right.
They train you to first save the younger person,
Okay.
because an older person has probably, this is an assumption, they've lived their life, and it wouldn't be such a big loss to society.
Right.
Again, don't crucify me if you're watching this on YouTube. If a 90-year-old person dies, it's not as big a loss to society as a 25-year-old person who's just graduated college and has a whole life ahead of them.
Yeah.
So these are the decisions they teach rescuers and lifeguards to make.
Right.
AI might not understand these nuances and these calculations that human beings make in their head on the go. So quite gray right there.
Yeah. That is there, of course, because AI is still artificial.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the human touch. I mean, that's why we always say technology can't fully take over, because it doesn't have the emotional factor, or it doesn't know the real world situations or how to respond.
How to react, yeah.
Yeah. So that will always be there. But technology wise, I think where we are headed, it's a good thing. Everything is becoming so convenient. We can track food. We can track farm food and all that from the farm to you,
All the way to the table.
all the way to the table, and so it's safe, it's organic, or whatever. So this is also enabled by technology, and the fact that we are just talking here and we are recording with all these cameras, We are recording with all these mics, and we can put it together, we can edit together, and then we can broadcast it to the whole world, and my mom in another country can watch this.
Yeah.
That's also done by technology.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, so technology has affected our lives in a good way, and it can turn bad, but that is we're talking about a larger scale, right?
And also the bad thing from, or the bad side from it is, which we talk about at some point, is social media. As many people, they really misused it, and they turns it to something that they take in it as a standard to look for always, as like news and what is going on in the world and whatever. So I think that's the only thing that might be like the bad side from a technology. As you said, in a larger scale, I'm honestly not aware.
Yeah.
The other thing that really worries me about technology is jobs. Whether we like it or not, a lot of the tasks that are performed by human beings, machines can perform better.
Yeah.
Lifting heavy things, for example. A human being is designed to only lift so much.
Yeah.
A robot, on the other hand, could lift maybe way more than a human being could lift.
Correct.
If I was building a factory where production depended on people lifting heavy things, I'd rather go with a robot, because the robot is just better at the job.
And not Fuad, because he
Not
has a back
Fuad,
problem.
because his back is broken. Not broken. So in that case, I think at some point, a lot of the tasks that we perform, it will be replaced. Robots will take over, machines will take over. And when that happens, what happens to these people? Because now certain skills become obsolete. You can't just get a job because maybe, like, think of jobs that people used to have 100 years ago, jobs like a seamstress, where someone needed to make clothes by stitching.
Yeah.
Now you have machines that can do that in large scale.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here, there's a factory somewhere, whatever, in France. They make clothes, they make thousands of t-shirts per day. And the people they used to hire to do that job, I mean, that skill is gone. People don't need it anymore. So that's another thing that I worry about.
I was actually in one of the Carrefours.
Yeah.
And I was just looking to buy something.
The robot.
There is something white is passing by. It's a robot actually.
Yeah. It
is, yeah.
Using a
For stop.
and also proximity sensor to get away from people. It's
No,
called
so you see, now-
self-inventory.
Now
which-
that's whoever was going around, because I remember when I used to go to supermarkets back in the day, not even back in the day, like yesterday,
still they have
there
them.
would be someone taking the inventory.
Yeah.
There would be a storekeeper.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a robot doing that job, that dude has been replaced. So what does he do after that?
Have you done a stock take? Because I
I
used to
know-
work in a Carrefour, and
I know
doing a stock take.
I know it's back-breaking work,
Yes.
but it's a job.
It is a job.
It's the difference between someone potentially being homeless
No.
and
Not really.
See, the thing is, it's like this. Of course, every job can be replaced. We thought like salespeople can't be replaced.
Yeah.
Because you have to convince someone.
Yeah.
But look at how online is taking over.
yeah.
Right? People don't even care about the salesperson anymore. They just go ask the price, they buy. And they check reviews online, and they just click order, and it comes to your home.
Yeah.
Right? So everything can be replaced with technology, but society keeps moving on. People will find newer jobs. People will find, because of technology, there are so many other areas that opens up, like the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
So there are so many other new jobs that are opening up.
Yeah.
So society will move on. We can't stop technology saying that people are losing their jobs. It's same like the immigration problem.
Yeah.
So people are saying, you guys are coming to my country and taking our jobs. So same thing. We are telling robots, you're coming and taking my job.
No, I'm not saying robots should be. And by the I think we're confusing two things, which is another subject we can talk about at some other point. The stock taking guy, the inventory guy,
Right.
just because he's not making enough money to live a decent life, it's not the fault of anyone except his employer or her employer. They're just not paying the guy enough.
Right.
It's a job. The degree of difficulty of the job, that's a different story. What the guy is paid, that's squarely on the employer. Pay that guy enough to live a decent life. Simple. Don't say, oh, it's some low level job, I don't need to pay the guy. Low level job doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you go to buy a kilo of sugar, doesn't matter if you're a billionaire or someone who makes, $300 a month. The sugar is the same price.
Yeah.
Point.
But that job doesn't require that much salary.
Correct.
See, that's a problem.
Why?
It's not that it doesn't
a
require a
problem.
salary. This guy's cost of living is exactly the same as the cost of living of
But
anyone
no-
else in the country.
I mean, think of it from management skills.
Yeah.
They can employ technology and do it cheaper, better than paying a guy a higher salary, which they can use for something else.
I think we should talk about universal basic income.
Exactly
It's
that where I was going.
It's a point that's gaining a lot of traction lately,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
should definitely talk about that.
And think about this: when robots are taking over, or AI can take over, technology can do most of the work.
Yeah.
We can rest. That's what people are made for. Humans are not born to work for 5 days and rest for 2 days.
Yeah, we're just not designed to do
Yeah,
that.
we're not just designed to do that. So when technology takes over, we can work maybe 3 days and rest for 4 days. Be with
But
our
now the
families.
problem is the inventor guy doesn't have a job.
Yes, universal basic income. That's the solution. So
On that universal note, I think we should come to an end for this and start talking about some other thing at some other point.
cool.
Agreed.
All right.
All right. See you on the next one.
Use technology. Don't be scared.
Like, subscribe, share by using technology.
Exactly.